see top right-hand side of your screen, stage 4 blackouts in place at the moment. Let's talk about energy issues and what solutions there might be down the road. The Mineral Resources and Energy Department launching a request for proposals for the 6th bid window. It's under the Renewable Energy Independent Power Producers Procurement Program. It's quite a mouthful. Thank heaven there's an acronym. Projects procured under this bid window will be required to start operating by the year 2024. Let's bring in Professor Samson Mampweli from the Centre for Renewable and Sustainable Energy Studies at Stellenbosch University. Prof, always good to have you on eNCA. So there might be light at the end of the tunnel. Let's start here. The problem is that tunnel seems a long, long way away. We're stage 4 now. I don't think we can wait until 2024.
Good morning, Gareth and the viewers. Yes, and we must always remember that these projects are supposed to reach financial close in 2024, which then means that they will reach commercial operation in 2026. So that light is quite far, but however, we appreciate the fact that the minister is implementing the Integrated Resource Plan 2019 because in the past we had a challenge around 2014, 2015 when the then administration kind of veered off and started talking about the nuclear deal and things like that, instead of implementing the IRP 2019. So between 2022 and 2023, the minister is supposed to procure about 9,200 megawatts from IPPs, mainly renewable energy. And I think he's on course to meet that target.
How much of a difference would that amount of power make from IPPs, 9,200 megawatts? Help someone like me understand what difference would that make in South Africa?
That would push the renewable energy contribution quite high to more than 20%. And that can take away a lot of pressure on the Eskom grid. As things stand, Eskom needs between 4,000 and 6,000 megawatts for them to stabilize the grid. So if we get 9,000 megawatts, that will go a long way in avoiding a load shedding. I must indicate that as things stand, we could have had stage 8 load shedding or stage 10 load shedding for that matter. And we were cushioned by renewable energy because I've been keeping an eye on the Eskom generation system. And I've realized that when the system is constrained, there's about 2,000 to 2,300 megawatts that's coming from IPPs that is cushioning us from higher levels of load shedding. And that is throughout the day and during the night. And during the day, we've got quite a substantial amount of energy coming from solar PV.
Prof, let me ask you this question very quickly. You just mentioned stage 8. I think that was the biggest fear so far for 2022. It could still very well happen. It unpacks stage 10 for me. I didn't even know there was a stage 10, potentially. What in the world does that look like?
So stage 10 is basically blackouts, because that means that we will have to do with about 10 hours of not having electricity. And if you look at that, looking from the system operation point of view, it puts a lot of pressure on the Eskom system to an extent that they may not even have to provide power. They may just have to keep the entire system running basically on idle to try and protect the grid. So it's basically you moving into total blackouts, and then they need to bring a lot of generation capacity for them to start providing electricity again to the country.
And what are the chances of us getting to stage 10 on its current course, the way Eskom is telling us there's a lack of generating capacity, and all the IPPs, this bid window 6, Prof, that you and I are talking about, commercial operation by 2024, really only online 2026. That's 4 years away. What are the odds of stage 10 to your mind if you look at the grid right now?
At this point in time, I don't see us going even into stage 8 unless something drastic happens. The ESCOM strike almost took us to stage 8. So that has now been resolved. In the next few weeks, some of the units will be coming back live. The problem with the ESCOM fleet, especially the coal one, is that the average age of the coal fleet is about 42 years. If you don't count Medupi and Kusile, the new ones that have got their own problems, by the way. And those systems were not properly maintained in the past. So some of the equipment has become obsolete. And what happens is that when there are breakdowns, ESCOM needs to first establish what has broken down. And in some cases, they find that a part that is broken down is no longer even being manufactured by the original equipment manufacturer. So instead of replacing the one part, they will have to replace a whole lot of parts or bigger parts. And that takes quite some time from ordering to replace.
Prof, forgive me for jumping in, but you used the term taking some time. I need to just ask you this last question before I say goodbye, but you mentioned the word time. Very quickly, we talk about commercial operation by 2024. I mentioned that online by 2026 for this REIPPP. I'm not going to read the whole name again. It's far too long. I'll be here all day. But why does it take so long to get to that point? Why can't we do these IPPs faster? What's the problem?
The challenge is that, one, the projects need to go through a number of processes. One of the processes is environmental impact assessment. Lucky enough, we've got projects that were not selected in the previous bids that have got already environmental impact assessment and some of the permits that are required. So when the minister says these projects must reach financial close by 2024. That's basically a standard that they use, but those projects can basically reach financial close even before 2024, depending on who is bidding and who's got what in terms of the permits that they have already. So most of the projects that I expect to be submitting bids already have some permits, so they may reach financial close within a year from the time that they're given the preferred bidders status. So that's one of the issues, and it has been happening with the previous bids where the minister gave them up to 2 years to reach financial close, and some of them reached financial close much earlier, and then they came live much earlier. So
I hope that is the case again, Prof. Mampweli. As you say, there is light at the end of the tunnel. The problem is it's a very long tunnel, but you've given us some glimmer of hope at least. Always good to have you on. Professor Samson Mampweli, Stellenbosch University Director for the Centre for Renewable Studies. 25